Who's that dude in the middle? I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding, y'all. Oh, I know some of y'all gonna scold me because why you say that? Hey, I mean, you got some guys look like ladies and some ladies look like guys. I mean, what and one you got some dude over here looking like a turtle. Anyway, this race right here is a race. Kentucky is something else. I had a chance to go to Kentucky, and boy, it's a lot of races there. A lot of them. I mean, one time we got out of the truck and we went to get some gas, man. Boy, we saw some hillbillies out there. We actually saw hillbillies on the porch with a gun. I thought that was on TV. No, it's for real. They got real hillbillies on a rocking chair with a gun on the porch and the dog laying down there. So we go in the gas station and, we're on our way. It was a church group going to a church van. So washing our hand. And the dude washed his hand and he said, "Why don't you go turn that water off, boy?" Now, what you say? I know this mother. Did he just call me? Well, my pastor had to hold me back. And then when they leave, they're going to say, y'all better hurry up and get out of this town, boy. When we come back, y'all better be gone. And then they rolled off playing Gin and Juice by Snoop Dogg. I'm like, y'all ain't no real racists, man. Y'all wannabes, man. Sitting over here playing Gin and Juice. Get out of here, man. Get out of here with that mess. But that's Kentucky for you. Senator Mitch McConnell is going against Amy McGrath. Now, here's the problem that we have right now. Amy McGrath is a corporate-centric, capitalist Democrat who will toe the party line. Now, she beat out on Charles Booker. Charles Booker got a late spring, and he ended up still being defeated. Charles Booker represent excitement. He represented excited base. Now, there's a couple of things that I would have pushed Booker on. But nevertheless, he was better than Amy. And he was better than Mitch McConnell. And now that Amy is the nominee for the Democratic seat in Kentucky, Mitch is spanking her behind right now. Now, if you go back and look at the numbers, I'm not going to go look at the numbers, but you guys got to do some stuff yourself. I can't do everything for you. Go look at the numbers. When Charles Booker was set to go against Mitch McConnell, the number was a little bit more closer. And with the BLM movement and the murder of Breonna Taylor and them not putting these guys in jail and my man Jason Black doing whatever he can to put billboards out and try to really put the pressure on them to arrest these people. And then here come Oprah Winfrey trying to copycat. I'm going to deal with her on the Rob Report. The whole momentum could have shifted toward Booker, and Booker could have took that seat against Mitch McConnell. Mitch McConnell is not going to lead the seat. You will see a skeleton sitting in his chair 40 years from now. He ain't leaving. But we got Miss Amy McGrath, who defeated him, and Charles endorsed her. It ain't going to be enough to defeat Mitch McConnell. Don't she look like Sergeant Jackson from Officer and Gentleman? I know y'all get mad at me. She look like one of the sergeants in the military, man. Sergeant William Jackson. Anyway, let's take a look at this. Quinnipiac poll. McConnell leads McGrath by 5 points, but sure job approval rating is 63%. But let's go to another one. This one. Polls show Mitch McConnell with large lead over Amy McGrath in the U.S. Senate race. Large lead. A new survey by independent polling firm Morning Consult shows Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell with a commanding lead in his bid for the seventh term 7 term. Gee, Mo Netties. That term's what, 6 years? 7 term in Kentucky, leading 53-36 over his Democratic challenger, Amy McGrath. About 700 likely voters in Kentucky were surveyed online from July 24th to August 2nd by Morning Consult, whose result have a margin of error of 3.5% positive and negative, plus or minus. The race between McConnell and McGrath is expected to be one of the most expensive U.S. Senate race in the country this year, as both campaigns had over $16 million in cash on hand at the end of June. McGrath spent over $9 million in June alone to pull out a narrow victory over underdog Charles Booker in the Democratic Party. And Charles Booker was nowhere near that kind of money, and most of the money that he got came from small donors. The Democratic Party and the DCCC and all these corporations poured big money into McGrath, and she barely beat him. Barely. I still think some shing-dings was going on. I still don't believe Charles lost that race, but that's another story. I can't prove it. And Charles has to challenge that. I can't. A waste of time for me to even talk about. Whose campaign search? Charles Booker in the Democratic Party, whose campaign surged in the final months by portraying him as a more authentic and progressive Democrat. Here's something I didn't see. Polls show Donald Trump with a large lead over Joe Biden in Kentucky. So if you thought Joe Biden was going to win every state right now, Trump has a large lead over him. Democrats do not look like they're going to take Kentucky. And Kentucky is a crucial seat. And the reason it's a crucial seat is because we got one of the most ideologue, staunch conservative that don't want nobody to have nothing for the taxes that they spent their money on. The polls show McGrath still has work to do in consolidating support among Booker's voters. In other words, she wants Booker to work hard to get his voters to support her. Ask Hillary Clinton how that went. With 79% supporting her, 12% supporting McConnell, and 6% indicating they will vote for someone else. McConnell had the support of over 84% of Republicans surveyed, which independents favored the senator 45-33% over McGrath. So here you got people like me, independents, that said, I'm going to stick with Mitch. I don't know who that dude is. I don't know who that lady is. Come on, man. Don't you look like, Yeah, you got some people like that. You got some guys. You got the pretty Rickies, man. They look like women. And if you go that way, if you like that, that's America. America. That's your thing. But she looked just like Sergeant Jackson. She looked just like him. Anyway, McConnell has the support of 84% of Republicans. Wow. Over 6% of likely voters surveyed indicate they would vote for someone besides McConnell and McGrath, with nearly 6% still undecided. Well, if you do a lot of phone call and a lot of phone banks and talk to some real people, you'll see about 40, 50, 60% would rather vote for somebody else, but they feel they're forced to vote for somebody that they don't want to vote for. And I ain't nobody gonna force me to do jack. While a survey 2 weeks ago from the internal pollster of McGrath campaign showed McConnell leading by only 4 percentage points, 4 percentage points, to other polls since June found McConnell up by at least 20 percentage points. A survey conducted in mid-June by Oakland, California-based pollster Civics and commissioned by progressive think tank Data for Progress found McConnell leading McGrath 53-33%. Republicans polling from Spring Strategy found McConnell leading McGrath by an even larger margin in mid-July, outpacing the Democratic 55% to 33%. McConnell defeat Democratic challenger Alistair Lundgren Grimes. Why she ain't ran this year? By 56% to 41% margin. In his last race for re-election in 2014, after most poll has shown a close race throughout the campaign. While the results of Morning Consult survey are good news for McConnell polls from other United States races around the country, it shows that he is in serious danger of losing his majority in the chambers, as Democrats have a chance to flip the Republican seat in Arizona, Colorado, Maine, Iowa, and North Carolina. So you say that right now. So in other words, they're not going to give Mitch McConnell any kind of glory of his commanding lead. They just want to stick that out there and say, lead or not, we got a chance of taking this, turning him to a minority. He end up being a minority leader. Because we're going to take him down. We're going to take all these other states, and with all that commanding lead, we're going to take away his power. It's not about, look guys, it's not about power as Senate Majority Leader. It's what kind of juice you got with the people that are working there. You ain't got to be Senate Majority Leader to whip up votes against a thing or for a thing. Kentucky is heavily trending toward Republicans in federal election in recent decades, with the GOP winning every race for the U.S. Senate since 1998. And every Republican presidential candidate winning by a blowout since 2000. McGrath responds to a new poll with an email statement indicating she is more concerned with the numbers of Kentuckians recently tested positive for COVID-19. Yeah, right. Without health care and filing for unemployment than any numbers in the political poll. Mitch McConnell has abandoned them by letting unemployment benefits expire. All right, so she's trying to do a narrative right there, but it's true. But all of them are abandoning them. All of them are abandoning us. Mitch McConnell has abandoned them by letting unemployment benefits expire in a pandemic and economic crisis, McGrath stated. No one said beating the entrenched Wall Street-funded incumbent was going to be easy, but my job isn't as hard as it is for Kentuckians under Mitch McConnell's failed leadership. All right, so she did a little tough talking. All right, so Miss McGrath, you're talking a little tough. You're talking like you got a little fire in you. Bottom line, Miss McGrath, the reason they poured all that money into your campaign, the reason they're biting their teeth, afraid that Booker was going to whoop your behind or shock you like the other people that shocked incumbents, people who've been in the House and Senate for decades, old farts. The reason they threw all that money in your campaign because they expect you to be a Wall Street. You will be a Wall Street person, whether you like it or not. Because the whole point of you going to Congress is to become a capitalist. But look, you're not going to get it. You are not. She is not going to defeat Mitch McConnell. Mitch McConnell is Kentucky. You look in the dictionary right now and look up Kentucky. You got Mitch Turtle face head right there, smiling, looking just like that. Oh, looking like he like somebody done stuck something up his butt. That look right there. That's Mitch McConnell. Democrats, you made a mistake. DCCC, you made a mistake. You're always trying to do whatever you can. You didn't have to support nobody else. She wasn't in the seat. She didn't have this seat for 5, 10, 50, 20 years. You pick your candidate, and like always, you neglect the people's candidate, the ones that the people want. You want a candidate to do your bidding, and unfortunately, Amy McGrath will do the bidding of the Democratic Party. She's not going to do the bidding of the people. So her talk about unemployment, her talk about COVID, and all that is only designed to shame Mitt, hoping that she can get 1 or 2 votes off of Mitt. But there's no real truth behind that. Bottom line, she's not going to win. Matter of fact, I believe Mitch McConnell is going to whoop her behind. I hate that. I don't want this guy to be in office, period, let alone majority leader. But we messed up a chance to get him out of office. You had the brother right here. Was on fire. He was flexible. He was an activist. You probably could work with him. You probably can push him. But y'all decide y'all want to go with old Bruce Jenner over here. Don't come on. Let me stop, man. Don't look like little Bruce Jenner a little bit. Let me stop. But Caitlyn Jenner. Let me stop. I know y'all, man. I'm gonna get demonetized. I'm gonna lose some people, man. But nah, man. She looked just like she looked just like one of those. She looked just like one of those high school coaches for the girls basketball team, man. Come on. It ain't looking good for the Democrats. You believe you could flip some seats. But anytime I got Chuck Schumer popping up on my videos begging for money and Stacey Abrams begging for money, then it don't look too good. You got a progressive side of the Democratic Party and the outside progressive party. They ain't giving you no money. And you haven't getting any concessions to the inside progressive party. So why do you expect them to fund your campaign? And why do you expect them to give you money so you can get people like this? Who's going to lose? Who's going to lose? You effed up. You effed up, Democratic Party. When you see some fire, you got to put gasoline on the fire. And she ain't have a lick of fire. You tried to light her up, and the lighter was just sparking out. No fire coming out. This brother was a fire all by itself. And it's going to take a fire to burn out Mitch McConnell. Not a flick from a big lighter. This ain't going to look good for the Democrats. Now, we got the House and Senate. When I say we, the people, I'm not talking about a party. If the people can get a House and Senate that favors them and doing for them, they could put a leash on Trump. So Trump has never been my number one word. That's y'all word. Our number one, these people, they're must be bossed the way they're talking about this person. No. They don't like this person just like they don't like Trump. We're capable of hating both. We're capable of not liking both. We're capable of saying no. You're trying to make it seem like we have to pick one of the two or we're going to be stuck with Trump. No, we're saying no to both. If we're stuck with Trump, it's because you didn't go our route. You didn't tell them beforehand. It's always, well, hold their feet to the fire. Man, I'm tired of holding feet. Your feet crusty. Your feet stink. I'm tired of holding these stink, crusty feet of the Democratic Party. I'm tired of it. Hold their feet to the fire. Who gonna let you put their feet to the fire? They will kick you in your throat before you put their feet to the fire. So you ain't holding nobody's feet to the fire. So stop with that feet to the fire talk. The thing is, stop them from setting foot. And me, I'm from the order. Trump nor Biden need to be set foot in that office, and I'm calling both of them to step down. And I'm sorry if y'all not with my cry, because y'all got two races. Y'all got racists with rape allegations, two bona fide liars, pathological liars, Bernie, both of them. And y'all insist on putting them in office. Well, what are we going to do, Robert? Deny them the office. Call for investigation. Do something. You ain't got to vote for them. You ain't got to vote for them. Well, what do we do about this lady and Mitch McConnell? Well, people going to figure, I can't stand Mitch McConnell. And if I was in Kentucky, would I vote for her to get rid of Mitch McConnell? No. Well, Mitch McConnell going to stay in the seat. That's your fault. Now, if your candidate can offer something for my community that will cause my community to get out, to drive them out to vote, you can win. But I dare you keep expecting something for nothing. Just vote for our candidate because that other guy is bad, horrible, ugly, bad, horrible. Look like a turtle, bad, horrible. Look like an orange orangutan, bad, horrible. So vote our guy. Because they're not as bad as horrible. And they may be horrible, but not as bad as horrible. Dude, I don't play that game.